Thanks so much for joining. So today I'm going to show you how you can create this fun little chalkboard poster. The first video I'm going to show you how you can create this in Microsoft Word, and then the second video I'm going to show you how you can get this in a format where you can very easily send it over to either Costco or send it to OfficeMax to actually make a poster out of this. This is one that I used for my 7-year-old when he went back to school, where he can hold this up with a picture to show what grade he's in, how old he is. But obviously you can make any changes to this that you want and use it for a birthday party. You could frame it in a frame. Really the possibilities are endless. And again, totally customizable because we're doing this in Word. And again, you can make any changes that you'd like. I did want to point out you can obviously make this in color as well. I tend to like the black and white because I'm not great with picking colors. I did want to point out that I do have a YouTube channel, and in this YouTube channel I show how to create tent tags, favor tags, certificates, nearly any printable that you could want, how to make your own letterhead, water bottle labels. So please watch any and all of my videos, like any or all of my videos. I'd be so appreciative. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I do try to add about a video a week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on how we create this. Very first thing we're going to want to do is click on New, Blank Document. And we're going to want to go to Page Layout, and we're going to click on Margins, Narrow. Then we're going to want to go up to, I like to use Google. If you like to use Bing or Yahoo, feel free. And I'm going to go ahead and type in Chalkboard Background. And I'm going to click on Images. Now if you scroll over, you can see here that says 2912 by 3640. That's basically the resolution or how large that picture is, and you typically want to pick larger resolution pictures or larger pictures, especially if you're going to use it as a full background. So I actually picked this one. This would be cute too if you wanted to have sort of a border or a frame with it and you didn't want to create it yourself. But I did use this for the purposes of this picture. So I'm just going to do a Save Picture As, and let's just do chalkboard background.jpg. That'll be fine. And let's go back to Microsoft Word, and let's do an insert picture and chalkboard background. Here it is. Okay. Now if you try to move this around, you're not going to be able to move it around. Let's actually go ahead and make this bigger. What you probably want to do in order to be able to move this around and ensure it's centered is click on here for the layout options, or right click and click on Wrap Text, and we want to do Behind Text. Once we do Behind Text, you can now move this around and you can ensure that this is centered. And I actually want to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. And what you want to do, and let's make this a little bit less wide. And what you want to do is move this until you see that green cross in the center. And now you know that that is centered. Okay. I also added a border to this, so you can do a simple frame, and then you can make this just slightly larger if you wanted. There we go. All right, and I have that centered, and you can see sort of that's another way to center it if you take a look at the upper left-hand side. Okay, so it looks good to me. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to insert a text box. And I want to draw a text box. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw it up here. First thing I want to do is do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. I then want to click in the text box, go to Home, and click on White so I can actually see it. Nicholas Woodruff Hall. And I want to go ahead and highlight this, and the text I used, or the font I used, was called Return to Sender. Now if you do not know how to download and install new fonts, please watch my video on that. And you can kind of make it any size you want, because what we're actually going to do is if you want to upload this to OfficeMax and or to Costco or any other printing to make it an actual poster, you are going to have to do this next step to every single text box you have. You want to click on Format, go down to Text Effects, and again ensure your text box is selected. Go to Format, Text Effects, go to Transform, and you want to click on the square. What the square is going to do is it's essentially going to fill the text to the size of the text box. And then from here you can make any changes that you want. Okay. All right, and then from here you can also go through and ensure that this is centered. All right, now the next thing that we want to do is we want to go through and create this banner. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to click out of that text box, and I'm going to click on Insert Text Box, and I'm going to once again draw a text box. And I'm going to draw a pretty big text box. And I'm going to do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. Okay. Now the reason why I want to do a big text box is because I am going to insert a symbol. Again, if you have not, or if you're not following along, or if you do not have the font KG Flavor and Frames 6, please watch my video on downloading and installing new fonts. It will go through all of this in the symbols and special characters within fonts. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to insert this banner. So I clicked on Insert, it's here, and I want to go to Home, and of course this is the font, so I want to make that white. All right. Next thing you want to do is again click on Format, go down to Text Effects, go down to Transform, and once again go to Square. Okay, and again this is going to make this so it fits the text box. And then from here you can go ahead and make this a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, and then we want to once again insert another text box, and we want to draw a text box, and then from here we can do a format, do a no fill and a no outline, and we want to type 2016. We want to highlight this, go to Home, center that, make it white, and the font for this is Chalk Outline. Okay, again, watch my video on installing and downloading new fonts if you do not know how to do this or you don't have this font. Okay. All right, next thing we want to do is insert a text box. Let's draw a text box. Let's go down here. And let's go ahead and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. And the reason why I can just select this is it will default to the last selected. And then from here we want to type in Mrs. Forsman, Eastgate Elementary. And I think I misspelled a whole bunch of things there. But we're going to go home and we're going to click on white fonts, and we are going to click on Butterfly Kids, and we are going to make this a 36-point font. And let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger, and let's go ahead and center this. All right. Now, if you are not going to make this into a poster via Costco or OfficeMax or anywhere else, then you can just leave this as a normal text box. And you might want to change the line spacing options or check the line spacing options and click on 0 and single to move that up. And again, all I did to do that is the spacing was a little bit off. It was a little too much. So you click up here to line and paragraph options, line spacing options, and then click to 0 and single. Okay. If you are going to send this off to the printer to get this made into a banner, you do need to do text of X, and we want to do a very nominal text effect that isn't really going to be noticed. We just have to do this in order to do it so it's seen as an object. There we go. So now you can't even really tell that I made any sort of changes. But you want to make a very slight change via that, but you do need to actually warp that text or make that change to the text if you want to get it put into a poster, and we'll explain why a little bit later. But again, I did format, I did text effects and transform, and I think I selected this one here, the inflate. I don't remember, but again, do one where you can't really tell that you did anything. Okay. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to create these lines. Okay. So what we did here was we went through and we did insert, shape, line, and we just went ahead and went from here. And you can hold down the Shift key to ensure it's straight. And we want to do shape outline of white, and we want to do dashes. We want to do more lines. When you click on more lines, it's going to bring up this over here. And we actually want to make this 10-point font. And we want to do dash lines, and we want to ensure that those are round. And we can do round. Okay, and let's see what that, oh, why did that not? There we go, sorry about that. I didn't have the right thing selected. So we want to go ahead and make this a 3.5-point font, and we want to make this dotted, and we want to do round, round, and actually let's go ahead and make this 4.25. That looks good. And we can make this taller. And then what we want to do is we want to do oval arrow for begin and oval for end. Okay? And then from here, we can simply ensure that this is centered. And then we can press Control-C, or we can right-click and do a copy. And then we can click anywhere in here. And then we can do a paste, and here it is right here, and we can move this, oopsies, we don't want to move all that over. Okay, and then we want to move this line over, and you can make it again. Obviously you can make any sort of changes that you want to it. Now the one thing that we want to do here is we want to do, oops, for the ends, we want to get rid of that line, or that arrow, or that circle, I should say. And then here's our other one up here, and then we can go down here, and we can line that up. And we can copy, press Control-C, press Control-V, and once again we can move this over here, and we can do a Control-V, and we can use the arrow key on our keyboard to move this down. Again, you can really change and play with the spacing as well. Alright, now from here we just add additional text boxes. So we want to go through, we want to insert text box, and we want to draw a text box, and we want to do format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. We want to do favorite sport, soccer, and we can go to here, go to home, do line spacing, options, 0 single, and we want to use, what did we use? DJB Monkey. There we go, DJB Monkey. And we want to make this white. And then of course we want to center this, and we want to do format, text effects, because you are going to have to do this for all of them if you want to get these printed out in a poster. We want to do fit to square. And again, we can obviously make these bigger as well. Oopsies. Keep grabbing that background image. We want to grab this, make this bigger. Okay. And from here we can press Control-C, or we can right click and do a copy, go down here, and then we can just do a paste, and then we can move this down. And I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard in order to move this down. And instead of favorite sport, when I grow up, I want to be in an office like Daddy, which is actually actually very cute when he said that. And the font I used was Chop, C-H-A-W-P. And once again, ooh, that doesn't look very good, does it? And let's go ahead and make this there we go. Okay, let's make the font a little bit bigger, and we can go ahead and press Control C and then go over here, and we can go down here, say favorite subject, recess, of course it's recess. And we can click here, and the font that I used is KG No Regrets Sketch. Okay, and I think I use like a 36-point font. There we go. And we can obviously make these much bigger and make these much bigger. And we want to change that. Okay, and we can do special toy, Control V, down here, special toy, his little polka dot dog. It's actually been his special toy for a very long time. We can highlight this, and the font that we used for this is KB Reindeer Games, which is a cute font as well. And then these last two that I did, 7 Years Old and Best Friends, we do a little bit differently. So we're going to go ahead and insert a text box, and we're going to draw a text box, and we're going to do a great big text box right there, and we're going to do a format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline of no outline. We're going to do home. We're going to do a white font, and we're going to just type the number 7, and the font of that is Chalk Outline. And the size, let's go ahead and make that 48. And let's go ahead and do a format, text effects, and once again we want to do that square where it fits the whole box. And then from here we can go ahead and click on Control C or right click and do a copy, go in here, and we can do a paste. And rather than the 7, we want to do a, and I'm using the arrow keys in order to move this around very easily. Years old. And we obviously want to make this smaller font. Okay, there we go. So now it's 7 years old. It's fine. All right, and then finally we want to add in those best friends. So we want to insert a text box. Let's draw a text box, and let's go in here, and let's go ahead and do format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. And let's type in best friends, highlight this, go to home, center it, and the font we use is Chalk Hand Lettering Shaded Dim. And again, if you don't know how to download and install new fonts, please go ahead and take a look on how to do that on my video. And let's make this a 28-point font. And let's go ahead and go to format and do text effects, transform, and we want to arch up. And then from here we can actually make this bigger, and we can move this arrow And we can actually make this a bigger font. Let's make this a 48 font. There we go, best friends. And then finally, we want to insert our last text box where you type in their best friends. And you want to do a format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, and no outline. And we're going to do Kota and Connor. And we're going to go to home, make this a white font, change this to chalk hand lettering dim, make this a 26, and okay, maybe make this a 24. And we can make this text box a little bit bigger. And then from here, we, again, if you want to make this into a poster, you do have to click on the warp. If you're not making it into a poster, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that last step. Not Kota. There we go. And that's it. That's how you can create this. We're going to go ahead and do a file, save as, and I'm going to save this as Chalkboard tutorial, because I'm going to create another video on how to make this into an actual physical banner that you can get printed at Kinko's or at OfficeMax or at Costco. Thanks so much, and if you did find this useful, please like this on Facebook, or please like this video with the thumbs up, and or watch any and all of my other videos. Thanks so much.